My name is Abbey Dovey, and I am a Clayton-Bradley Academy graduate from 2018, the first graduating class. I am now a sophomore musical theater major at East Tennessee State University in Johnson City. So from the time I was in like 5th or 6th grade on to my junior year of high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I had fallen in love with it. I'd always loved science. I was always really good at it. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So I actually was in a scholarship pageant and I won a $10,000 scholarship to a school down in Florida called Eckerd College. And they have an incredible marine biology program. I actually went and toured there once while we were on vacation, and they've got a beach on campus and all kinds of stuff, so I was like enthralled. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is perfect. You know, I had it all set out. All right, here's the scholarships I'm gonna get, here's how I'm gonna pay for it, everything. And then my junior year, I went through the LEEP program. And so Mr. Terry actually got me hooked up with an environmental engineer at the University of Tennessee, and I got to work in her lab with her for 2 weeks, for the 40 hours. I did a solid week over our fall break and then over spring break. And it was really, really cool. I got to work with her, and she had 2 graduate assistants that were in there with her, and they got to know me and they got to really trust me. And they were like, okay, like, kind of got to know what I'm capable of, what I'm good at, and they pretty much let me run stuff by myself. There was one point where she was like, look, we've been trying to run this experiment and it's just kind of been put on the back burner for a couple of months. Can you put this together and can you do this for us? So I ran a whole experiment by myself. I had a lot of fun doing it, but reflecting back on it after the experience and waking up every morning at 7 a.m. to get there, I kind of realized how much I was dreading it, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this forever. Because by the time I finished, it was a really fun experience to look back on, but I was so relieved to be done with it. I kind of went, oh no, I can't do that forever. If I'm done with it after 2 weeks, I can't major in this. I can't do this for a career. So I kind of had a little, oh no, moment where for a couple of months I was just kind of stuck. And I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I know I don't want to do this anymore, and we ended up giving our LEEP presentations, and that's kind of the conclusion I presented people. I was like, this was awesome, I don't want to do this anymore, so this has helped me find a new route. And I eventually settled on the route of going into performing. It's really the best experience I could have had and the best choice I could have made, because in those couple of months of me just kind of debating, like, okay, what am I gonna do, where am I gonna go, I was like, if I got tired of that so quick, am I gonna get tired of everything that quick? And I realized performing is the only thing that doesn't happen. Waking up my junior and senior year for our musicals, we had really early Saturday morning rehearsals sometimes, and that's the only thing that I would be excited to get up and do early in the morning, and the only thing that I don't get tired of no matter how hard it gets. And when I can't hit notes and I can't get the music right, it makes me want to try harder and do it again, not give up on it. So if I wouldn't have had that experience, I think I would have been one of those very lost college students that had to change their major 3 and 4 times before I figured out where I belonged. For my capstone project, after I finished LEEP and was like, okay, I guess science is out of the question, I wanted to do something that related to music and related to performing. And Mrs. Kosher, who was our other choir teacher at the time, had mentioned in the past that we never had an alma mater, and had mentioned in passing, well, maybe the choir can write it together or something like that, and it never happened. So I approached her and I was like, could I write it? Could I write the alma mater? And she was like, you know, sure, I think that'd be good. It was really difficult. I had a hard time because CBA is such a unique environment and such a unique experience. You know, most alma maters are just, oh, walking through the halls and the mountains that we live in and whatever else it is, but I was like, I don't want it to be cheesy and that simple. I really wanted it to capture the essence of CBA. I ended up setting up a personal interview with Mrs. Bradley and Mr. Clayton, and I got to pull some quotes. The last line of the alma mater is actually, hard work and persistence make dreams come true, which is a quote from Mrs. Bradley directly that she said the day the school opened. She said it in her speech when the school opened. Oh, Clayton-Bradley, we look to you. We'll always love you, tried and true. Family we cherish, friends we love. Always remember where we came from. Cottage to cottage, from day to day, we blaze the trail, we light the way. Our love of learning we share with you. Hard work and persistence make dreams come true. as it finished and as it closed, I really was able to capture the heart and essence of what CBA is. And at least personally for me, hearing it actually sung out loud in a group was one of the coolest experiences I have ever had. And on my resume, it says that I wrote the alma mater. And they looked at me, they're like, what do you mean when you say you wrote your alma mater? I was like, well, I was the first graduate of my high school, so we didn't have one. And they're like, oh, well, why don't you sing some of it for us? So that was actually part of my music audition, was I got to sit there and sing my alma mater. I got to do choir in high school. I got to do musical theater. I played tennis. I got to do fencing for a semester. Like, there's such a wide variety and such a range of things you get to do that just beyond academically, you really get to find where you fit in the world before you actually get out in the world. And I found that going into college, it made it so much easier, knowing exactly what I wanted to do and exactly where I needed to be. And if I would have been in another high school, I don't think I would have had that same experience. And a lot of people would say that, oh, well, you're in like a small private school, you're getting babied, you're getting pampered, you're not gonna be able to handle the real world. But the truth of the matter is, when I was in another school, I was getting beat up in the real world. And I didn't get the chance to do the things that I wanted to do and the things I needed to do to be able to grow. That's such a period of growth in your life between, 15, 16 to 18 years old. That's when you're gonna find things out about yourself. That's when you're gonna figure out your plan, figure out your direction. And being in an environment where you have the freedom to do that and you have the freedom to explore and discover everything. If you look overall at the graduates and the high schoolers in CBA, you see such a wide variety of really developed, really well-rounded students. There's just infinite amount of stories where we got experiences and we got to do things that no other high schoolers really even get to touch.